They got wide receivers if they use them. I don't think they want to. I don't think they're trying to pass the ball. They're trying to out physical teams and run the ball. And so we're gonna have a tough task at hand is stopping them from running the ball.
You know how much of a joke you gotta be to actually like get this told to you, bro, because you don't actually use your own best players. Don't get me wrong, the Atlanta Falcons actually won that game against the Texans, but like still, that me man, I want to take that for like that. What is up? What's happening, y'all guys, man? It is Nosley27 in the building, bro. We back here with another video and looking, bro. Like the Atlanta Falcons, bro. Like they're a team where like they're gonna be in there competing in games, but man, you just don't care about them for some odd reason. I'll tell you why, especially in this special episode. But for this video though, we're just gonna talk about the Arthur Smith experience of how like they actually came to this point in time, because they've been a team where like most of us thought like they actually improved, but like they just been stuck in like this middle tier to where like they just been haven't really done anything. We just don't care about it at this point in time. But I'm just gonna get the formalities out of the way and say, hey, if you actually mess with this video, bro, then go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video for more videos like this. And hey, let's go ahead and get into it, bro. So we all know what happened to the Atlanta Falcons this year. They actually had good expectations where like they actually might have a chance to actually win the division. They had the Ricky Bijan Robinson, they had Drake London, they had Kyle Pitts, who was a generational talent, but it just didn't work out because Arthur Smith and Arthur Blank couldn't get out of their own heads, bro. And truth be told, most of the blame goes to actually owner, because he's the one that actually got the head coaches, got the GMs and stuff like that. And honestly, they just been mid for the past few years, and they just been stuck in for Purgatory, to which that's where they are right now. And for me to give a quick summary of what the end for Purgatory is, it's really actually the worst position you could be in, because that means the teams are actually good enough to actually beat the bad teams, but they're not good enough to beat the good teams, to which sometimes they end up being good enough to where they actually make the playoffs and get maybe first rounded, but when they actually don't make the playoffs, they're not even bad enough to actually get a top 5 pick in the draft, to which that's not a good sign for a team that's trying to compete. Because like obviously if you're a really great team, Super Bowl contender, like you get talked about a lot. And then also like if you're actually a really bad team, like you get talked about in the bad limelight, but like they actually like looking forward to your future a lot more. But when you're a mid team though, like not a lot of people care about your team like that, for because like you're just the middle of the pack at that point. Which it's a very damn shame, because like this roster has actually improved where like they actually ready to compete for actual title, bro, be Super Bowl contenders, but they don't have a QB, bro. Like that's really been one of the major issues of this past few years, bro. They don't have the QB, and obviously they didn't even hire the right head coach for the job. Yeah, it definitely showed, because the last 3 seasons, bro, they finished with the same record, the same exact record. Shoot, even before the Arthur Smith in that 9-week 4-12 season, they finished with 7-9 records. So they just been definition of mid for the past 5 to 6 years. And like the one time they're actually bad, they actually grabbed Kyle Pitts, the 4th pick of the draft. To which, don't get me wrong, like that was still a pretty good pick, because that year in 2021, they were still trying to like push to actually make the playoffs and win the whole thing, stuff like that. And that was like Matt Ryan's last year in Atlanta, but like that was really the year where like they're that high in draft where like they might as well just grab a QB and just develop them behind Matt Ryan that year. To which we get to the guy that was actually in that draft in a few minutes. I'm not gonna spend too much time with 2021 Falcons, but like key note to actually mention was the fact that like Kyle Pitts was the first rookie tight end in a while to actually have 1,000 yards in the season for him. So like that was a really good year for him to have that milestone for himself. And then plus like that was like a typical Atlanta Falcons year where like the offense was kind of an offense, but the defense just slowed them down, especially the pass rushers for the Atlanta Falcons. So I'll get to later. Then of course everybody remembers 2022 where like that offense was worse of an offense because they had Marcus Mariota as the QB, and then of course they actually drafted with their 1st round pick, the right pick, to Drake London, who actually is a really good receiver, but like wouldn't actually given the opportunity. Wouldn't give it the opportunity. Everybody remembers, they actually benched Marcus Mariota for Desmond Ridder, who's basically Marcus Mariota 2.0, but like, he won some games, but like he didn't look that impressive. But they really like screwed themselves this offseason though. Now everybody remembers in the 2023 offseason that Lamar Jackson, bro. He was a free agent that year, and the Ravens actually put a non-exclusive tag on him, which means that the Atlanta Falcons actually had a chance to actually talk to him and offer him a deal, but they didn't actually do it though. Obviously, the NFL basically said not to talk to him because Lamar Jackson was being his own agent that year, but the Falcons team has been making an attempt to actually try to show interest in him because this whole time, bro, they were just so committed to Desmond Ridder. And the person that actually made that call was actually the owner, Arthur Blank. To which Arthur Blank, bro, he's the reason why that Lamar Jackson didn't became an Atlanta Falcon that year. He basically questioned Lamar Jackson's style of play, to which, I get it, but there's guys like Josh Allen who basically runs over people, but then questions his own style of play. And he turns the ball over way more than Lamar Jackson does. What's even more baffling about this is the fact that they didn't even try to go for him. They went 10 toes down on Desmond Ridder, but the year before that, they went for the one guy that had a whole bunch of allegations against him. So with the owner going basically 10 toes down on Desmond Ridder and pass him on a top 5 QB in the league, you kind of expected what was going to happen in next season, because they actually went 7-10 again, got the 8th pick from the draft for the 3rd year in a row. But he's just part of the problem, as the other Arthur Smith, he basically proved to himself why that Derrick Henry is the reason why they actually got the job in the first place, because dude basically thought he was the smartest person in the room, and he thought the fans weren't actually knowing anything about what they need to do. All season long, he had generational talents like Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and even Drake London, who was the first receiver picked in the draft a year ago, and he just refused to use them, bro. Dude actually had those 3 players, and he just refused to use them. He actually went with backups more than actually using his star players. I can't even find the play, but it was actually a trick play where Kyle Pitts was the blocker and Jonathan Smith was the guy that actually intended to throw to, and the other third tight end was the guy to throw the ball, or something like that. But point was, Kyle Pitts blocking in a trick play is so insane to me. Then with the Bijan Robinson thing, I get it, he's a rookie, so he's not gonna find the right hole that you need to find for a running back, but dude's generational talent, and the fact that you basically split carries, which I get, you want to do the 2-man thing, but he didn't do it good enough, because the Lions show a better example, use the two back row, and look what that got them. It got the Lions to the NFC Championship game, to which they actually had a chance to actually get. But to be somewhat fair to the coach, though, the QB play this year was not that good, because Desmond Ridder really became Marcus Mariota 2.0, but he ended up having more turnovers than Marcus Mariota, because dude kept throwing the ball like crazy this year. And then much as we love Taylor Heineke and him being a fan favorite, he's just not that guy at QB. That's just me being real. So combination of a bad QB play and then a coach that refused to use their star players and also had predictable and bad play calling, yeah, he's bound to get fired for the end of the season. What's more frustrating about this Atlanta Falcons team than the past 2 years of the Atlanta Falcons is the fact that they actually had a really good defense this year, as they actually were top half in the league in defense, especially improving the passing defense department, as new acquisition of Jesse Bates, bro. He was a really big difference maker for them. Jesse Bates had himself a monster year, as he actually came a Pro Bowl and the first team All-Pro at safety, and he basically was the best player on that team on defense, for that matter. And also with him beyond there, the actual pass rush actually improved too. They actually had the most success they had in a very long time too. They actually had a really good acquisition at the pass rush positions with Clyde Campbell, David Amado, and among others. And this defense actually was a really big revelation for them, to where they actually had a chance to actually be up there in the playoffs to be one of the better teams in the league. So yeah, the Atlanta Falcons definitely wasted a year of good defense for the Atlanta Falcons, as they actually the one of the better defensive teams they had in a very long time. But all is not lost for the Atlanta Falcons, because they actually made a really big hire for this coming offseason, as they actually hired Raheem Morris, who ironically enough was the interim head coach back in 2020 when Dan Quinn got fired. He's definitely one of the best defensive coaches in the league, because last year with the Rams, dude had a lot of second and third year or even rookies on the defense, and he basically had them to be a respectable defense, top half in the league. So dude's definitely something on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, he's a really great players coach too. So plus, he brought over the Rams QB coach to be their offensive coordinator, to which that actually really helped them out a lot, because they really need one. And honestly, this team should be like up there, hopefully. I believe they hired a good coach, but they have to get a QB this year, man. Whether it's trading for Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears, or even like going to free agency for like one of those veteran players, or even trade up in the draft to get like a Jaden Daniels or something like that. They have to get a QB in the draft this year, because if they don't, they're gonna be in the same position they was last year. Like, you don't want to be in the NFL purgatory, because the moment you still in the NFL purgatory, especially in the fans' perspective, like, they're just gonna not care for the team, and you don't want that for your organization in the future. This is coming from a guy who's a fan of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but like lives in Georgia, bro. Like, I want the Atlanta Falcons to actually be relevant again, because even in that 1 year where they blew that 20-3 lead, like, they still didn't feel like a relevant team. It was just a miraculous run. Like, I want them to be a powerhouse of a team, man. I want them to be like that team where, like, yes, you fear them instead of thinking them as an afterthought. And I don't want to put any big expectations on new NFL coach and Raheem Morris, but like, I kind of have to, because like, there are teams where like they're QB away from actually winning, because their roster is actually really solid. I was gonna need another receiver because they had no receivers other than Drake London that actually has the contract, but they're a solid team to where like you actually give them a chance, bro. Especially that QB. Like, they're a team to where like you actually want to fear, and you don't want them to be in the NFL purgatory for the years to come. But that'll be it for me, man. Appreciate y'all watching through the video, and I hope y'all have a great day, man. Peace out.